Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning, everyone. We meet again. My name is Zainul. I'm from the School of Chemical and Energy Engineering, one of the schools under the Faculty of Engineering, University of Indonesia, UTM Johor Bahru, Malaysia. I'll be your moderator today. And today we are very grateful and thankful that one of our collaborators from across the Pacific Ocean, because it's over there. They are at 8 o'clock now at night. And we have one of the Mexican top scientists with us, Professor Cristobal Aguilar with us to share some of his experience, knowledge, give us some inputs on one of his areas of expertise with us. So some people ask me, Zainul, how did you know people across the Pacific Ocean? So I would have to tell that we met a couple of times when we attend conference together in this time in India. Can't remember the place, but we have to arrive through Chennai. Yeah, then we have to take 1.5 hours drive to that place. So from there, we were taken to two other places in India. So that's where we start to build our relationship together with other of our colleagues. So from that was in 2018. So a lot of things have happened. We have exchanged some ideas, engaged in some activities. He invited us to some of our staff to be in his university. We published a book together. Yeah, we edited the book together. This has been published this year. Hopefully today, Chris will share some of his thoughts on some of the subjects in this book. And hopefully, and UTM and also Universidad Autónoma de Coahuila in Saltillo, Mexico, we have an active MOU. So this actually can facilitate many activities between our both institutions. So before we start the session, allow me to invite our distinguished Dean, Professor Rafiq, to introduce our speaker today. Over to you, Prof.
Thank you, Zainul. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everyone to our 35th UTM Engineering Distinguished Lecture Series. My name is Muhammad Rafiq and I am the Dean of Engineering, University Technology Malaysia. Today, it is my utmost pleasure to welcome Professor Cristobal Aguilar from Autonomous University of Coahuila, Mexico. A bit about our presenter today. Professor Cristobal Aguilar is the Vice Chancellor of Research and Postgraduate Programs at Autonomous University of Coahuila, Mexico. He obtained his degree in chemistry in 1992 from the same institution, an MSc in Food Science and Biotechnology in 1995, and from the Autonomous University of Chihuahua, Mexico. His PhD program in fermentation biotechnology was given by the Metropolitan Autonomous University, Mexico. He has experience as a postdoc in 2001 at IRD Marseille, France. Prof. Aguilar is a member level 3 of the National System of Researchers of Mexico, SNI. He has been awarded with several prizes, including Outstanding Researcher Award 2019, Prize of Science, Technology and Innovation Coahuila 2019, National Prize of Research 2010 of the Mexican Academy of Sciences, the Prize 2008 of the Mexican Society of Biotechnology and Bioengineering, National Prize AgroBio 2005, and the Mexican Prize in Food Science and Technology. Prof. Aguilar is a member of the Mexican Academy of Science since 2014. He is also a member of the International Bioprocessing Association, Mexican Academy of Sciences, Mexican Society for Biotech and Bioengineering, and Mexican Association for Food Science and Biotechnology. His research areas are in the design of bioprocesses for bioproduct production, as well as in the fermentation and enzymatic technologies. He is the editor of more than 20 books, and an associate editor of Helion Microbiology by Elsevier, Frontiers in Sustainable Food Systems, and member of several editorial boards of international scientific journals. So that is a biography of our speaker. Here now is Professor Cristobal Aguilar from the Autonomous University of Coahuila, Mexico. Prof. Cristobal, over to you.
Thank you very much, Professor Rafik. I want to thank your kind invitation to be here. If you tell me I can to start. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see the presentation? Can you watch it?
Yes, yes, we can.
I can to start.
Yes, please, Prof.
Thank you. Dear ladies and gentlemen, good morning in Malaysia, good evening in Mexico. Thank you very much to be here in my talk. I send a warm greeting from Saltillo, capital of the state of Coahuila in Mexico, to all the people who follow us in the live broadcast. First of all, I want to thank to all the members of the organizing committee for inviting me to participate in this webinar series called Distinguished Lecture Series of University Technology Malaysia, UTM, at Johor Bahru, Malaysia. Thank you very much to my friend, to my colleague, Professor Zainul Akmar Zakaria, member of the Faculty of Engineering, particularly of the School of Chemical Engineering and Energy Engineering by Product Development Institute of UTM, for your consideration and promotion to be part of this excellent experience. A very special thanks to Professor Dr. Mohamed Rafik, Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, UTM, for his kindness and openness to strengthen the cooperation links of UTM with my university, the Autonomous University of Coahuila, UADEC. I have selected to talk about the development of a low-cost and rapid bioprocess for the production of biological control agents by solid-state fermentation using agroindustrial residues, attending the Sustainable Development Goals 9 and 12 related to industry, innovation and infrastructure, and responsible consumption and production, respectively. I want to start talking about my institution and my town. The Autonomous University of Coahuila is a state university founded in 1957. It is located in the northern Mexican state of Coahuila. The university is distributed in more than 15 cities in the state of Coahuila, with a great concentration of activities in the city of Saltillo, where the presidents of the same is located. Our university is made up of almost 50,000 people, of which more than 43,000 are students, and the rest are workers, teachers, researchers, administrators, etc. I want to share a short video with you. Please, if you can give me support to play the video.
We are a public institution with 60 years of academic work, which offers relevant and quality education. We attend to more than 36,000 students distributed in 13 cities of the state, who are enrolled in 60 academic units, which offer instruction at high school, undergraduate, and postgraduate levels under a student-centered education model. We promote, with a humanistic focus, the universal values which are associated with sciences, technology, art, and sport, providing our students with a comprehensive formation. We complement the education of our students by developing a second language in them through the curricular English program and the offer of language centers in each region where our university provides its services. In order to ensure their permanence, all of them count on their mentor professors or peer mentorship. We guarantee the quality and permanence of our students with financial support and payment facilities for those who need it. We bet on the use of information technologies and communication through distance education programs such as the online high school program and continuous education program aimed at the strengthening of teaching, innovation for students, training and corporate upgrading, linking and certifications. The teaching staff on which our university relies is integrated by 3,097 professors. 93.2% of our full-time professors hold postgraduate degrees and 171 professors are part of the national system of researchers who work as part of academic bodies, generating research in order to solve the problems of our society and of the industry. We bet on a global formation. Therefore, we impulse international mobility programs for students and teachers at universities in other countries and the opening of our classrooms to alumni from other nations. We link teaching, research, and culture with the public and private sectors by contributing to sustainability with a global and equality focus. We work on extension and support programs for the community through Extension School Brigades, 2 community centers in Saltillo as well as in Torreon, extension programs by radio, rural journeys, walks to the rescue, UNIRED, medical dispensary, tourism in your city. We also work on the solution of companies' problems through projects of the Joint Fund from CONACYT and the Program of Incentives to Innovation, PAY by its initials in Spanish. We place culture and sports as important elements for the comprehensive formation of our students. We frame everything within a clear policy of efficiency, transparency, and accountability. We define linking as the social responsibility for generating knowledge in and for the different groups which conform our society. En el bien fincamos el saber.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, I will continue with my presentation. In this photo, you can see the School of Chemistry where I'm working from 26 years ago. Here in this faculty, we offer 3 bachelor programs in chemistry, chemical engineering, and pharma and biological chemistry, and 7 postgraduate programs in material science and technology, biotechnology, food science and technology, and chemical science and technology. Here, I share with you the website of my research group. You can browse it for more information and discover our scientific and technological contribution. The Mexican state of Coahuila, formerly Coahuila de Zaragoza, officially the free and sovereign state of Coahuila de Zaragoza, is one of the 33 federal entities of Mexico with an area higher than 150,000 square kilometers. It is the nation's 3rd largest state. Coahuila border the Mexican states of Nuevo León to the east, Zacatecas and San Luis Potosí to the south, and Durango and Chihuahua to the west. To the north, Coahuila accounts for a 512 kilometers stretch of the Mexico-United States border adjacent to U.S. state of Texas, along the course of the Rio Grande for United States or Rio Bravo for Mexico. Coahuila, this state comprises 38 municipalities and a population of almost 3 million inhabitants. The 5 largest cities in Coahuila are the state capital city of Saltillo, Torreón, Monclova, a former state capital in the center of the state, and in the north, Ciudad Acuña and Piedras Negras. You can see this figure here because the history said that the name of Coahuila derives from native terms for the region, and it means flying serpents, place of many trees, or place where serpent creep. Coahuila contains 2 biosphere reserves. Maderas del Carmen lies on the northern border of the state and includes section of the Chihuahuan Desert and Sky Island of Pine Oak in the Sierra del Carmen mountain. The springs, lakes, and wetland of Cuatro Ciénegas lies west of Monclova on the west slope of the Sierra Madre mountain. Coahuila is largest and is largely arid or semi-arid, but the rivers of the state support extensively irrigated agriculture, particularly cotton. The Parras district in the southern part of the state produce wines and brandies. The pine oak forest of the Sierra Madre mountain produce timber. You can see in this picture some beautiful picture of my state. Here we can see the typical flora and fauna of the town, which is characterized in particular by some endemisms that have been reported in the scientific literature. We can see 2 graphs and some picture or image. The last population census run across Mexico in the year 2015 reports Coahuila de Zaragoza having almost 3 million inhabitants, which, considering the size of the state, means that the state has a very low density. In fact, as low as only 15 persons per square kilometer. Coahuila's population is mainly made of criollos with mestizos. Less than 7,500 natives resides in Coahuila, or merely 0.3% of the total population. The rest of the population is composed by Americans, Canadian, and Japanese communities. The rest of the demographic particular in the state are very similar to the national average, such as high life expectancy, reaching 75 years of age, and a Catholic majority. Economic, about 95% of Mexico gold reserves are found in Coahuila, which is the country's top mining state. Torreón has Metmex Peñoles, a mining company. The city is the world's largest silver producer and Mexico's largest gold producer. It also has Lala, a product company, which produces 40% of Mexico's milk consumption. Saltillo City also has a growing automobile industry, hosting General Motors and Chrysler assembly plants. Coahuila's economy represents around 3.5% of Mexico's total gross domestic product, and has a strong focus on export-oriented manufacturing, with more than 250,000 people are employed in such sector. The average wage for an employee in Coahuila is approximately $9 per day. I can continue talking about my land, and I don't get tired, but it is only a slight description of this beautiful place which I invite you to discover, visit, and enjoy. This is the outline of my presentation. I will start with a brief introduction talking about the antecedents of this work. I will detail the importance of this work, and then I will describe the objectives, methodological strategy, the results, and final comments. Biological control or biocontrol is a method of controlling pests such as insects, mites, weeds, and plant diseases using other organisms. It relies on predation, parasitism, herbivory, or other natural mechanisms, but typically also involves an active human management role. The term biological control was first used by Harry Scott Smith 100 years ago in 1919 meeting of the Pacific Law branch of the American Association of Economic Entomologists in Riverside, California. However, biocontrol still has significant challenges to solve to achieve replacing some synthetic chemical pesticides applied to food commodities. Modern agriculture should be focused on sustainable production of agri-foods. Biocontrol is analyzed as an attractive technological alternative to some synthetic chemical treatments which cause environmental, human health, and food quality risk. Currently, it is necessary to find alternatives to synthetic pesticides applied to field crops because some of them are generating damage to human health and environment, as well as resistance in several phytopathogenic microorganisms. A way to control this problem is using fungi as biological control agents or BCIs because they are phytopathogens' natural enemies. Some filamentous fungi belongs to the BCA group. They have the ability to grow on solid substrate. This feature has importance in several areas such as the food industry, industrial compound production, enzymes, pigment, antibiotics, etc., and pest control like biofungicides, etc. And solid state fermentation technology is attractive to produce biological control agents, particularly fungi that attacks insects, mites, fungi, and bacteria. This is a photo of a typical biofungicide, which are applied mainly as fungal spores, which is the most virulent form and have a long shelf life. Although there are other ways to apply biocontrol compounds, such as secondary metabolites produced by antagonistic strain. In this work, an effort was made to improve the effectiveness of a biofungicide against two fungi of world importance, Colletotrichum glosporoides and Phytophthora capsicii. Solid state fermentation can be defined as a microbial process that generally occurs on solid materials and in absence of free water. Use of solid state fermentation and filamentous fungal strains may give an added value to agricultural waste through bioconversions. Most agricultural waste are disposed of without any use. This waste include plant bagasse, husk, and fruit seeds, and are constituted by cellulose, which represent a potential source of sugar and energy. And Trichoderma strain have the ability to produce, to grow and to produce antibiotic metabolites as defense mechanism when they are in contact with another microorganism. Colletotrichum glosporoides. In this slide, we can see some beautiful picture of this phytopathogenic fungus. It causes anthracnose, is one of the most common Coledotrichum fungal plant pathogen. It causes bitter rot in a variety of crops worldwide, particularly perennial in the tropical regions. Some of the important host plants include citrus, yam, papaya, avocado, coffee, eggplant, sweet pepper, and tomato. It produces substantial amount of pre and post-harvest loss in these crops worldwide. It acts as a secondary invader of injured tissue, but can also survive as a saprophyte. Another phytopathogenic fungus of importance in this study was Phytophthora capsicii. You can see some beautiful image of this microorganism. This fungus is an homicide plant pathogen that causes blink and fruit rot of pepper and other important commercial crops. Phytophthora capsicii means plant destroyer of capsicums. Phytophthora capsicii has a wide range of hosts, including members of the families Solanaceae, Cucurbitaceae, as well Fabaceae, including cantaloupe, cucumber, watermelon, bell pepper, tomato, snap beans, and lima beans. The main research topic of our research group is the valorization of waste and biomass, focusing our effort on the use of fruit waste has solid support of solid-state fermentation for the production of pigments, enzymes, oligosaccharides, oligopeptides, antimicrobials, nutraceutical, biomasses, and biological control agents. There are some examples of fruit waste which we are working to valorizing them. You can see sugarcane bagasse, coconut shell, citrus residues, including orange, grapefruit, mandarin, and lemon, avocado peel and seed, mango peel and seed, pomegranate husk, pecan nut shell, coffee pulp, gripe pomace, and corn cobs. The use of this agroindustrial waste and solid-state fermentation technology offer an alternative to biopesticide production with advantage of unconventional submerged fermentation, has reduced cost, reduced energy consumption, low production of residual water, and high stability products. The most important application of solid-state fermentation are biomass production, in example for mushroom production, enzyme production, particularly pectinases, lipases, cellulases, etc. Secondary metabolite production like mycotoxin, fragrances, etc. And spore production like biocatalysis, starters, inoculum, and biopesticides. Fungal spore and secondary metabolite can be produced by solid-state fermentation, which may be a low-cost process with high-quality product. The role of biocontrol agents, biological control agents, or BCA, for phytopathogens control has been established and is growing in importance since in some cases it is a replacement of synthetic chemical products. Biopesticide production mainly use BCA because are used as natural enemies of phytopathogens, have important feature requires to biocontrol, fast growing soil, persistent, virulence, feasible productive control, and easier production and application, good condition for storage, low cost, compatibility with agrochemicals, and the most important, safe. They are safe. Based on filamentous fungi, BCAs are gaining higher acceptance because they have an ability to grow on solid substrate, higher spectrum of disease control, and greater biomass yield. Filamentous fungi have generated special importance because they play an important role in several areas, such as food industry, pest control, and compound production with industrial application. Trichoderma species are one of the most investigated fungi, contributing as high as 50% of BCA's fungi. More than 11 species of trichoderma can be used for the control of 40 phytopathogenic organisms. You can see in this slide the strain, the phytopathogen controller, and the disease name. Worldwide, there are several companies producing biological control agents, which include trichoderma. Commonly, this kind of production is carried out on submerged culture systems, which have some disadvantage, such as lower spore viability and higher probabilities for bacterial contamination. Therefore, those disadvantages can be eliminated using a solid-state production system with agro-industrial waste as substrate. For this reason, the general objective of our work was to produce trichoderma as BCA by solid-state fermentation under induction condition to promote any factors involved in the biological control of phytopathogenic microorganisms, metabolites, enzymes, and other spores, and to identify such compounds. When I say induction condition, it's because we use the biomass of this phytopathogenic microorganism as part of the substrate of the culture system for trichoderma. The specific objectives were select a strain of trichoderma species based on the mycoparasitic and antibiotic and or in vivo competence against Colletotrichum and Phytophthora, to select an agro-industrial residue that will be used as support for the solid-state fermentation system with a strain of trichoderma, to define the culture condition of solid-state fermentation using polyethylene bags as bioreactor with the select substrate and strain. And finally, produce and identify the bioactive metabolites released by trichoderma fungus during the solid-state fermentation process. We use 6 different trichoderma strains, 1 Colletotrichum glosporoides and 1 Phytophthora capsicii. All of them belong to the culture collection of my university. To select the better trichoderma strain, we evaluate the radial growth and sporulation index of trichoderma using a potato dextrose agar. In this test, we inoculate the center of the plate and we evaluate the radial growth and the number of spores produced by the fungus. Then, an in vivo inhibition assay against the 2 phytopathogens was carried out on potato dextrose agar, and finally, a solid-state fermentation was carried out using Sapec-DOS culture broth supplemented with sugar cane bagasse and shrimp chitin, evaluating the fungal growth, sporulation, and enzymatic activity, cellulase and chitinases, because the cell wall of the phytopathogenic fungi are composed by cellulose and chitin. Well, in this slide, we can observe obtain results. In this assays, in agar plates, the trichoderma strain grew very fast with radial growth values among 0.5 and 0.6 millimeters per hour, with excellent radial growth and excellent sporulation index higher than 200 million spore, you can see the value, but this code meaning the name of the strain. Okay. T104 strain, T104 strain, this was the best trichoderma to inhibit the growth of Phytophthora capsici. This is the importance of this slide. And in this, all trichoderma were able to inhibit the growth of Colletotrichum, as you can see in all the tests. However, the strain T102 and T201, with these two fungal strains, we obtained higher values. When the culture medium was supplemented with sugarcane bagasse, the values of radial growth were significantly increased, reaching values near to 0.7 millimeters per hour. Yes, with the strain T102. Considering the dispersion of the all obtained results by parameter evaluated, and in order to have a clear criterion for the selection of the strain to be used as biological control agent, it was decided to carry out a selection index analysis where spore production was preferred respect to the rest of results. So after this analysis, we can conclude that all trichoderma strains evaluated show high inhibition capacity and mycoparasitism against the two phytopathogenic fungi tested. It was possible to select to Trichoderma spirellum the strain T210 after analysis of selection index. To select the agroindustrial waste hazard support, in a second step, we evaluate three solid support of solid state fermentation: coconut fiber, corn cob, and sugarcane bagasse under this culture condition present in this slide. We use, in this case, aluminum tri-bioreactors for the solid state fermentation, and the selected strain T210 and one commercial trichoderma has control, which permitted a clear comparative analysis of our selected strain. The fungi didn't both strain, the commercial and the selected fungus, did not grow in coconut fiber, only on the other two supports in cane bagasse and corn cobs. However, both fungi grew faster on the corn cob, getting better results with the selected strain than with the commercial strain. In this slide, we can see similar results were obtained for the sporulation index. However, when we use corn cob, we obtain from 6 to 18 times higher, better results for sporulation of two commercial and the selected strain. Similar cellulolytic activities in corn cob and in sugarcane bagasse were obtained. After this analysis, we can see also the chemical characterization of solid support related to cellulose, semicellulose, and lignin, and we can easily associate the production of cellulolytic activity with the composition of the substrate. As conclusion of this step, we can say that the corn cob is an agroindustrial residue with high potential to be used as support in the production of BCIs. Fungal strain T210 of Trichoderma spirillum was selected as the best biological control agent. In a tier experimental stage, the culture condition for the growth of Trichoderma spirillum T210 were defined using a plaquet Berman design. This assay was made for each phytopathogenic fungi used as inducer in the solid support. Remember, this inducer is the biomass of the phytopathogenic fungi. Excellent results were obtained for the sporulation index and for the cellulolytic activities. In both cases, it was possible to define the culture condition for the solid state fermentation. For this reason, we can to conclude that it was possible to obtain spores, cellulases, and chitinases using solid state fermentation condition with a strain of Trichoderma spirillum and corn cob as substrate. Supplementation with biomass of Phytophthora capsici promoted the sporulation process and the enzymatic activities evaluated. The sporulation index was twice as high when Phytophthora capsici was used as the inducer, and the endoglucanase activity was approximately 3 times higher than previous stage of the project. The factor with the greatest influence on their solid state fermentation condition was the moisture. It is very important. Levels of 66 and 50% of this condition increased the yield of in all evaluated response variables, sporulation, cellulases, and chitinases for Coleotrichum sporoides and Phytophthora capsici, respectively. In the next and final experiment stage, the solid state fermentation was carried out on their the culture condition predefined using trace system. The first of them, the fermentation was carried out with biomass of Coleotrichum sporoides. The second one was by using biomass of Phytophthora capsici, and the third one was without fungal biomass, only the agri-industrial waste like support. All fermentation samples were similarly treated to extract active molecules associated to biocontrol using the extraction condition. 3 solvents were used, water, ethanol, and toluene under this condition. And all samples were analyzed using a high-performance liquid chromatography coupled to mass spectrometry with electrospray ionization under the conditions shown in this slide. After that, the results, we found 7 detected compounds by HPLC-MS interaction with antagonistic activity after solid state fermentation. What we can see viridipyrinone, dihydroxybergamotin, coninginin D, acetyl tetrahydroxy anthraquinone, biron, gliotoxin, and 1 non-identified compound. Like conclusion of this section, we can say that antifungal metabolites are produced during solid state fermentation carried out in the polyethylene bioreactor using a strain of Trichoderma spirillum. Corn cob has substrate and phytopathogen biomass has inducer of antagonist. 6 compounds were identified in the antagonistic activity, therefore may be the main cause of the inhibition of phytopathogens. This study shows that in some cases, the production of antifungal components is not enough. And for the case of Trichoderma asperellum, it is necessary the action of all its biocontrol mechanism acting in synergy. Well, here some of our group's most important publications describing studies about the biological control agent. You can check this publication about the challenges and opportunities of the biopesticides production by solid-state fermentation. Filamentous fungi has a model published some years ago in the critical reviews in biotechnology. Also, we have evaluated the forced dehydration influence on the production of spore by Trichoderma strains. We have this publication about the production of biological control agent, effect of a drying process of solid state fermentation on viability of Trichoderma species. This publication describes the growth inhibition of Coletotrichum glossporoides and Phytopthora capsici by native Mexican Trichoderma strain. And as you can see, this publication can describe at the time all of this project for biocontrol agent production. In this book chapter, we describe the solid-state fermentation in a bag bioreactor, effect of corn cob mixed with phytopathogen biomass on spore and cellulose production by Trichoderma asperellum. So I want to thank to all financial agencies for the economic support for this project, particularly to the program Basic Science of the National Council of Science and Technology of Mexico, CONACYT. Special thanks to the Mexican companies who are funding us this project to improve their products and processes. Thank you very much. Special thanks to all the researchers who have participated in this project and those activities associated with the research group on biological control agents. Here in Mexico, in France, with Professor Sebastianos Rousseau, member of the INBE research group at Aix-Marseille University. And thank you very much to all educational institutions and associated companies. Special thanks. I want to give a special thanks to two researchers, Reynaldo de la Cruz and Atieli Ramirez, who were trained during their doctoral studies in this research group. All my gratitude to my students because they are the hard work for us. And if you are interested in being in contact with me or our group, please use our social networks to do so. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have questions or comments, use the chat, please, or you can use the comment section of the Facebook. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris, for the wonderful presentation. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you very much.
I think now you can close your PowerPoint presentation. So that now, because now is the Q&A session. So once you close your PowerPoint presentation, you can read the screen showing questions from the participants on the FB page. Okay, now if I may read the first question. Can you see on your monitor the first question?
Yes, you can put you can read because I don't have a Facebook open.
on your page now, on your screen now, can you see the question posted by Nur Humaira Lau?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Just a moment. Here,
Yeah.
in the private, in the comments.
Yeah. Hi, Prof. How to create a selection index? Can you see the question?
Yeah. Yes, of course. Because I was watching private chat, but I opened a comment. Okay, I
Okay.
have
Sorry, Prof. This is actually a question from Mrs. Nur Humaira Lau. She is working in Nuclear Malaysia, a national organization based in one of the states in Malaysia called Selangor. So she's asking how to create the selection index.
about the how we use the index, the selection index,
Yeah.
because
How,
this kind of this kind of test is very subjective, but we can privilege some important response. But this kind of analysis let us to analyze of all the responses in a just in a sole group of response. So this kind of analysis is very subjective, but it is can be validated because we include all responses in the equation used for this selection index.
okay. I hope that answers the first questions by Mrs. Nur Humaira Lau. Can we have the next question, please? Yeah. Also from the same person, Chris. Her question is,
I can read. Another
Yeah.
question is the solid fiber or the solid support used in solid state fermentation being sterilized prior to use. Yes, you can do it, but in our research group, we don't. We preferably do not sterilize the support because we can use a big size of inoculum to avoid some kind of contamination. So the solid state fermentation is flexible in this sense, and we can avoid the sterilization step in the bioprocess. But if it is possible to do it, if you want.
Okay, Chris, maybe this is a question from me, follow up to Nur Humaira's questions. So when you talk about a big size, what size are we talking about, Chris? To discriminate the role of other strains present in your substrates.
When you use exactly when you use a big size of inoculum, you can avoid by competition by competitive growth, favoring the growth of your selected strain, and all microorganisms present in agroindustrial residues can be inhibited. We can say that.
Okay, because I got this response a lot because in my work also we very seldom use sterilized condition.
I want to say something else, because we are thinking to transfer this technology. It's very complicated to have sterilizers of this of big size. Yeah. So we have a lot of work that demonstrate we can use the industrial biomass without sterilization. Yes. but you can have some contamination problems. So it's very important to define the culture condition for each bioprocess.
All right, all right, all right. This is a very important input for us to take note. Um, a common question would be, how can we justify that whatever result that we are getting in an unsterilized condition is actually contributed by the strains that we are studying. Yeah. So yeah, by using your tips, I think we can um, be more confident now. Yeah, especially
Yes.
for the students who are working. Okay, Chris, we have 5 minutes left.
Okay.
So I got this feed that there are no more questions from FB. I have one question from me, Chris. Another question.
Zainul, before you make your question, I want to say to Nur Humaira Law
Yeah.
about how to create a selection index. I can't contact him or contact her, I don't know, by email, and to orient or give some tips to share this kind of test and how to create a selection index.
Okay, Chris. Actually, I know personally Humaira because we were in the same lab last time in biotechnology lab. But
Okay,
I was doing my PhD, she was doing her master's. After that, she went on and worked with one of the top agencies in Malaysia called Nuclear Malaysia. So,
okay,
Chris, we have another question. Maybe this is the last question, yeah?
okay, okay.
Dr. Muhammad Helmi Sani. He's from the Faculty of Science UTM. He's asking, hi, Prof. Chris, what is the molecular tools for monitoring trichoderma in agricultural environments? Is omics approaches is one of the technology to be considered? What is the molecular tool?
I think it is possible to do it using omics approach, but in our group we don't use this kind of technology. But it is a great opportunity to make a modern analysis for monitoring of trichoderma in agricultural environments. In our case, we use traditional methods only. But it's an excellent recommendation. Thank you. Thank you, Mon.
All right, all right. Thank you, Helmi. Chris, we only have 3 minutes left, and I think I have to conclude this session.
Okay.
First of all, on behalf of the dean, he like we were before the session, he has to attend another session in UTM. So on behalf of the dean and also the faculty of engineering as well as UTM, we would like to thank you again for your time and participation. I know it's already late there in Satio, Coahuila. Yeah, it's already 9 p.m. right over there.
Yes. It's the 9 o'clock p.m. 9 p.m.
Yeah, and also for our participants who wish to have more discussion or conversation with Chris, you can go back to this recording, which is available on the Faculty of Engineering's FB page, and you can look at his email or the media portal that he is available to be contacted. Okay,
Yes.
so yes,
Yes.
Chris.
If you let me let, I don't know where is the presentation, but my I will write. I don't know where because I'm. Can you share my contact details, Zainul? Because
Sure. Your session is being recorded, and the video recording is available on the Facebook page of Faculty of Engineering UTM.
yes,
So everybody can click back to your recordings and uh, listen again, and also get your contact information from there. Okay, Chris, since we are really running out of time, again, I would like to thank you very much for your participation. And please do send our regards to our colleagues over there. And hopefully to be seeing all of you again in other sessions in the future. With that, I thank you, everyone. All right, thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Zainul, to
Yeah,
you and to all Malaysian people. Thank you for inviting me. It's
so
a pleasure.
thank you. Bye-bye.